Everybody, this is Crystal. When you call here and you get someone pleasant on the phone, it certainly isn't me. But Crystal handles all parts, and if you need DVDs sent to you or anything else, she takes care of it all.
Thank you.
Okay, now let's pass out this recipe. This is going to be just a classic Italian ice.
Instant classic.
Great. There we go. I've never made it before, so we'll see what happens. And this is a lot. Jeff makes products that he knows are going to work. I like to experiment. Some of them are awful. Still reeling from the avocado ice cream.
Or the Sharknado.
Oh, the Sharknado. Yeah. That was a blood red cherry Italian ice with candy corn in it for the shark's teeth. I thought it was ingenious. I don't think the audience knows what we're talking about, so excuse me for 1 second. If you want the recipe, it's for free. Nobody's wanted it yet, but it's a cherry Italian ice.
That part was fine.
Yeah.
It's those rock hard candy corns.
Yeah, they were kind of hard, weren't they? But the dentists love them. So we do make Sharknado too. Okay, you go back to the Atlantic, and we'll get down to some real business. I need my own formula. So we've got the 3 pounds of Concord grapes, 1.5 pounds of sugar, 3 quarts of water. So I'll get the 1.5 pounds of sugar.
I'll get the water.
All right.
3 quarts? Did you say 3 quarts?
Yeah.
For classic Italian ice cream? 3
Yeah.
quarts.
Yeah. 1.5 pounds of sugar. I've got sugar somewhere. Here we go. Jeff, someone wrote me the other day and they said they really like it when we argue.
We never are.
I know we never argue.
We disagree.
Yes, and we disagree on sugar. I say sugar is sugar is sugar, and buy the cheapest sugar you can get.
Wrong.
Yes, Jeff said, I think he said wrong.
Because, I'll tell you what,
Yeah,
this is the cheapest sugar you can buy.
very cheap.
And it's $2. The best sugar in the world you can buy is $2.09. So, come on.
And the difference is the best sugar in the world has a chemical in it to keep it from clumping. If my sugar clumps, I put in a bowl and go like that. And that gets rid of the clumps.
No, you got clumps.
All right, so we've got plain cane sugar. In other words, you don't need organic sugar, but you can use it if you want. You do not need bar sugar, which is very fine. You don't have to put the sugar in water and boil it to dissolve it because it dissolves very nicely in cold water. And I'm just going to get my fancy scale here up and running. That's all right. I can disconnect you for a second. So that we can measure out the sugar.
Now, Steve spent all weekend picking these.
I did.
He was right next to me. I was picking blueberries. He was picking grapes.
Okay, I need a container for the sugar.
No, have to take a drive.
Yeah. That's good. I'll zero this out.
3 pounds, right?
Yeah.
Actually, just take 1 pound almost.
Yeah, and then pour the rest in. What? Ingenious. So a pound is 16 ounces.
Oh, that's ounces.
Isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, look what you've done.
Okay. So we're going to mix the sugar and the water in a bowl, in a container. And it dissolves very nicely in just plain cold water. So here's, take these down so the camera can see. Here's my sugar. Do you think I need to puree these?
Absolutely.
Okay. I dropped your mixer on the floor, if you wouldn't mind just sanitizing it. And then
This?
Yeah.
You have any sitting there? So you want me to make up a batch?
I would just put it under the sink.
Yeah. I didn't say that.
No.
I was prepared to go the full distance on this. He said, just run on some water.
Okay, so we do have our,
That gets edited out, right?
something like that. We have our Concord grapes that Crystal hand-picked all the vines off of yesterday. And
What would you do if this wasn't here?
the old-fashioned method. I would put a bowl and I'd stop one.
You'd put it here, make the whole deal here, and then throw it in.
That's a great idea. Okay, ready? So,
Is that the only source of the grapes?
no, I've got grape juice.
Now, you know, we're making Italian ice, and it's Concord grape. What you can also do is get a jar of Smucker's Concord grape jelly.
That's right.
Throw it in and mix it up with this also. You can get grape juice, fresh grape, anything you want.
Yeah, the grape jelly works great. You got to plug it in. Let me do that for you.
That's not my job. Ah. Did you label that? Yes, you did. What's it called? That's it.
Oh boy. Would you mind taking that off?
This is not really a pureer.
Yeah, I didn't.
They're floating.
I was thinking about it. Well, I guess we'll let the machine do it.
Just grab that Cuisinart.
What is it?
Still floating.
Yeah. We're gonna let the machine do it. So next time, puree them.
I have to work under these conditions.
I was gonna pour off some of the liquid because
They're floating.
they're floating. Floaters. Okay. Let me turn this on.
Clean, orderly. Nice, right?
Italian ice.
Look.
Just like you taught us.
That's right.
Like I said, my videos, people look at all 218 of them and say, if that idiot can do that, imagine what I could do.
I was
I
one of
can
those
take
guys.
it.
I sat right where Brandy is sitting, in the back row there, my first experience with ice cream, and Steve made a Merlot ice cream, and everybody lined up, I got my share, I went back to the seat, and that's what I said. If this idiot can make this stuff, I can make real ice cream.
I learned selling in college. I actually have a master's degree in arbitrage, which is buying and selling commodities. That was a long way in my career. But there was a guy over in Orlando. I was in school in Winter Park, and they had in Florida at that time, back in 1970, what I call homemade commercials. They were really homemade, with jittery camera and bad sound and everything else. And there was this guy who had sold used cars, and so they would push out about a 1960 Cadillac, and the price would be $499 on a big sign. And he'd jump on the trunk of it, and then he'd jump up on the roof. He'd go up and down like this. Oh, look, it's dented. Well, we're just going to have to rip the price in half. And that's how he sold used cars. And everybody said, look at that fool. And I looked at no, one crazy yet, but he was the New York version. But I looked at that and I said, wow, that guy's really got it right. So, welcome to my used car lot. What about this? I'll go back. I have enough in here. This is beautiful. Take a look. Colors, and the berries are just rolling around. They're floating. They're floating. So, next time, as it says on the instructions, puree.
They're floating. What do you got here? Nothing grape, huh?
No, we don't have a blend.
Any grape jelly in the kitchen?
No. I think this will do.
They're floating.
Anyway, it'll give you the concept. It'll give you the concept, and then you can improve on it. Let me show you something that I made last class. If I can get in here again.
Nothing? What's this?
This is a combination of three that I made with my rainbow ice maker last class. That's a coconut ice cream, a coconut non-dairy ice cream. There's no such thing. If you say the word ice cream, it's supposed to have dairy in it, but all the millennials out on the West Coast are selling non-dairy ice cream. So I'll go with the flow and call it non-dairy ice cream. It's actually a sherbet or an Italian ice. So that's coconut. This is strawberry champagne. Look at that, I put strawberries in without, using the Cuisinart, and they turn that beautiful color. They're floating. I don't see them floating.
This is how you make it.
That's right. And then this one is blueberry, and I can break them up. You make the three different flavors. You put the divider in, and you make one flavor, and you put it in the freezer. Then you put another flavor and put it in, and then another flavor, and then you pull the divider out, and you get that result. So that's really pretty neat. And then when you go to scoop it, you hit all three, and it's called Superman Italian Ice, or whatever name you want to call it. You can do it with ice creams. You can do it, three different flavors of ice cream, or that's the rainbow maker. We also came up with the Great Divide. And the Great Divide is just dividing your tub in half to do two flavors. So it's really pretty simple, but isn't that a nice effect? And that is all natural. None of this is coloring. None of this came out of a can that you had to open while you're claiming it was fresh baked.
But they don't float.
No, they don't float. And take a look at that. That's a month old now. And the flavor hasn't sunk to the bottom of the can, the container. 2 months old, that's right. Because your best stabilizer on Earth is cold. The colder you keep a product, the longer it will hold. So that's a nice product. We sell those.
And it's cutting cold.
You disconnected it. That's coming along nicely. Any questions so far? Yes?
We talk about the DVDs, are they all online or?
Oh, you had a question about the DVDs. We have made 218 videos, how-to videos. They're all at YouTube. They're all at Emery Thompson. And Ken, you want to put that up on the screen right now and show them the list that you've made of all the videos that we have.
That's 218 different recipes.
218 different recipes starring Jeff and me, and sometimes starring me, sometimes Sadie or Sammy, they steal the show. And they're all for the taking. And then if you go to emerythompson.com at the top heading, it also says formula, it says recipes, and all the recipes are right there. Everything that I've done, just take it away. To get Jeff's recipes, which are very secret, Jeff used to be a school teacher, hopelessly liberal person. Now he's an entrepreneur. So if you buy Jeff's book, you can get all the secrets, really important things like don't put floaters in your ice cream, use a Cuisinart. That's the kind of knowledge you're just not going to find on the internet. Yes, sir.
If I wanted to sell both Italian ice and ice cream in my shop, you mentioned earlier that you don't want to keep them in the same case. I think you said that the optimum temperature for Italian ice is 17 degrees as a serving temperature. Is that right?
And the question is about selling Italian ice and ice cream. Let me show you. Since I have no chemicals and no artificial anything in my Italian ice, I use a separate cabinet for my Italian ice. So this is typical of what I call, I call it a floppy door cabinet because the lid flops over on itself. It probably has some fancy name, as opposed to the visual display cabinet where you can see the ice cream. I like these. It's always a great debate in ice cream. Do we use these or do we use the visual? The visual is nice, it attracts attention. The problem with it is it slows up the line. People go, oh, do I want this one, or do I want that one, or maybe I want that one. This way, they look at the signs, they say, I'll take the grape nuts. And you go in here and you serve. For ice cream, this is at 6 degrees Fahrenheit. Without any chemicals in my Italian ice will freeze up like a rock at 6 degrees. So I buy a second one of these, I tell the manufacturer I want to obtain a temperature of 16 degrees. They will change out the thermostat, and they're not going to do that in Czechoslovakia or China. You have to buy one made in USA from Nelson, Masterbuilt, or Woven. And they'll put an Italian ice, what I call Italian ice thermostat in it, so it'll hold 16 degrees. And now we can scoop it nicely. It's worth it. Italian ice, a scoop of it. This is a 3.5 ounce cup. So once we round it over, it's a 4 ounce portion. We're getting about $2 for that, and this maybe cost us today with the fresh fruit, maybe 8 cents. So 8 cents turning into $2, you can afford to buy a cabinet. It's a seasonal product except for places like here in Arizona and hot climates. It'll sell year round. In Seattle, they don't even know what the weather is until it's raining, so they're probably selling all year anyway. But this is the way we eat it in New York. This is called a squeeze cup. And we don't use a spoon, we don't use a bowl, though the bowl is fine. We take it and we squeeze it out and we eat it like that. It's a lot of fun. And if you ask your paper supplier for squeeze cups, you're going to get the deer in the headlights look. Because they, outside of New York City, they don't know what a squeeze cup is. This is called a pleated water cup. Like a lady's dress might be pleated. That's a pleated water cup. There's only one manufacturer I'm aware of called Solo. S-O-L-O. These I got at the supermarket. That might be a 7 or 8 ounce bowl. We're still putting 4 ounces in it, but I like it because it's wide now. And you saw, I can scoop it really fast. If this was a straight up and down bowl, it's going to be a lot harder to get the product into. How's it looking? Okay. Now, Italian ice takes twice as long as ice cream because ice cream is high in fat and low in sugar. Italian ice is no fat and all sugar. The more sugar in a product, the longer the freeze time. So your strawberry might take 10 minutes, your vanilla might take 8 minutes. The Italian ices are all going to be 16 to 18. Now, if we wanted to make this a cream ice, you would have taken this exact same formula, but you would have put about a pint of the ice cream blend in there. In the old days, they might have called it a sherbet, but sherbets to me were always either raspberry or orange or lemon, and that was about it.
But
it is sherbet, and they were sticky and gummy from all the stabilizers to make it sit in the cabinet with the other stuff. I didn't like the product. A cream ice is still as pure as an Italian ice. We're just adding some dairy to it. So it's a wonderful variation, makes it even smoother and creamier. Now people say, will your machine make a really smooth Italian ice? And please listen carefully. Will my machine make a smooth Italian ice? The answer is yes and no. It's all about the sugar content. If you're on Bay 8th Street in Brooklyn, which is an all-Italian neighborhood, they don't speak English, they are making what's called granita or granite. It's in a bigger machine, bigger than this, it's 6 pounds of sugar. It's crunchy, it's icy, they love it. If you go into Manhattan, we're selling New York style Italian ice. It's not 6 pounds of sugar, it's now 7 pounds of sugar. And it's a beautiful product, that's what I'm making here today, New York style. If I go to Philadelphia down the Jersey Turnpike, the name changes from Italian ice to Italian water ice, and it's 8 pounds of sugar. 1 more pound of sugar than New York, 2 more than the Brooklyn, and now it's just dead smooth and very, very smooth. And if you like it that way, that's great. So there's no wrong way to do it, but the machine has nothing to do with it. What makes it Italian ice is the beater, because you're literally making wet cement, and you need a cement mixer to make Italian ice. No other machine will do it. They'll break down and they won't, they'll void your warranty. These things are so strong that we can run it 24 hours a day for the next 25 years making Italian ice. But it's such a great profit item. And if you buy the proper inexpensive sugar, you'll make even more profit. You too can drive a Corvette. Like Jeff.
Ready?
Yeah, that's beautiful. Okay, everybody watch. Let's put this out right. Here we go. Look at that product. Isn't that nice? And look at that color. All natural. Now I can even lower it from speed, so that's getting everything out as fast as it'll go. And everything went into the machine. You can't do that with any other batch freezer. It won't go in the opening, and they'll void your warranty because the machines are so flimsy. Jeff came in this morning, and he said he asked those of you in his class yesterday, if you came in late to this, Jeff has a 2-day class at his ice cream parlor that teaches you how to make ice cream ices and all of his secret formulas. He also makes you wait on the tables, clean his car, clean the dishes, and he calls it teaching. More way around it. But he said he asked the class, how many of you have looked on eBay for a used Emery Thompson? And all the hands went up. And then he said, how many of you have found a used machine on Emery Thompson? And no hands went up. And the reason is, the other machines on the market, which are all Chinese parts and made in Italy, they last 8 years at the best. So if you go on eBay right now, you'll find about 110 Cappigianis, Technogels, electrofreezes, Sculptings that are worn out, and the guy's unloading it to buy an Emery Thompson while he thinks he can still get some money out of it. The only way you're going to find an Emery Thompson is if the last person in the family has died off and the lawyer is dividing up the estate. Then a used machine comes out. Want to prove it? Go to eBay today. There's a 72-year-old Emery Thompson batch freezer on the machine. And if you're going to start up a brand new business and you're going to spend money for rent and flavors and cups and hats and everything else, and you're going to depend that business on a 72-year-old machine, well, God bless you, because you've got more faith than I do in my company. 72 years, I got a lot of them running that old, but that's crazy. Come on up and try this. But let me show the camera. Look at that beautiful. Isn't that gorgeous?
Come here, girl.